Who are these stars? Oh, this is Lonerbox. His entire orbit is fighting Dan. Okay.
Vote for Kamala right now.
Until his debate
so
with Ethan, he never even said who he voted for.
There's a significant difference here, which is that for the right wing, regardless of how you guys feel about reality, for the right wing, Trump is genuinely representing their interests when they're backing him. And for the left wing,
He's
and the only
not,
people
though.
What did I just say? I said if you ignore your reality and focus on what they believe, they think that Trump. They think that Trump is genuinely representing their interests in a way that the left does not believe the Democrats are representing their interests. There's two ways to fix that.
Oh, okay. Here's the context, right? So basically, I don't know why Dan was on in the first place. Okay, I guess Lonerbox's orbiters, like, they're a bunch of lefties, right? So what they are doing is that they're basically attacking Dan for being too hard on Hasan, when he could be focusing his attention elsewhere by taking down the conservatives or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And then Dan was basically going like, okay, but this is like my specialty. This is what I want to do. And yeah, this is where I feel like I'm like safest to do. And yeah, they were just critiquing Dan for it. So that's the context. That's the context of this. Yeah.
You can force at rhetorical gunpoint the left to always back the Democrats no matter what, and to basically just accept whatever they get. And I'm in that camp, okay? I agree. I would vote for Kamala Harris, obviously. But I don't think that it is more effective than doing what the right wing do and genuinely convincing these people that the Democrats do represent their actual interests. And most of these people do not feel that way. Whereas MAGA all think that Trump represents their interests, no matter how insane their interests are. They think he's going to solve chemtrails, fucking red food coloring, and frogs turning gay. Right? They think it doesn't matter what they think he's going to do. They believe that Trump has their back because he's passed the signaling test within MAGA. That's why they get to have a simple signal of do you back Trump or not, whereas the Democrats have not done nearly the same thing. I agree that they're all insane, that they don't really believe in reality, but that's why they're able to do that signal test, is because they do feel genuinely represented by the leadership on the right wing.
So do you think Democrats, just to summarize, do you think Democrats are not left enough?
Well, obviously, I would like the Democrats to be more left-wing.
Yeah, but to get votes, not to for your moral compass, just like to get votes.
To get votes. I think that if Democrats genuinely focused in areas like Lena Khan, or just focusing on inequality as an issue more, I think you would end up reducing apathy, and I think there would be less of a drive towards right-wing rhetoric that gets translated into xenophobia, anti-immigration rhetoric, whatever else. Right? Like, you see how the fights on the right about H-1B visas or whatever are representative of a declining middle class and people getting fearful that their station is collapsing because we've only had a middle class for like 70 years. It's kind of an...
Bro, dude, you're a British guy with takes on the Democrats, like, oh, they have to be more left-leaning. Dude, what in the chicken McWaffles? Holy shit.
And it seems like we're returning back to the status quo of inequality that existed before the post-World War II boom. So yes, I think Democrats should focus on inequality as like a major component.
No. Okay. All right. Yeah,
because I think that will get them more populist approval and then more backing. Look at Reform, right? Reform voters are out on social media talking about a fucking wealth tax now. I think they're more likely to win. And I think people who flank, if the right wing is able to flank the left on some of these left-wing economic issues, I think you're going to end up with very scary people in power.
I think we already talked about this when I was here earlier about the policies and the rhetoric. I think, personally, policies would be better in taking out the wind out of the sails of like radical leftists, because that's all they really care about, like, is the policies. But rhetoric and policies would be better to combat the right wing in that way.
The other thing too, though, isn't just that they only care about the the problem is what kind of radical leftists are we talking about here? Because if we're talking about people like Hasan, nothing will ever be good enough for him unless the Democrats go full socialist/communist. And at that point, and they're not going to do that because then they're going to lose a whole bunch of other people.
Again, the reason I'm not interested in focusing on Hasan is because he's basically reached a point where, I don't really believe he has an ideological project beyond making himself money and retaining his wealth and being a popular cultural streamer. That's it.
Okay,
obviously Hasan himself
Hasan is going to lose
That is not true. Hasan's constantly trying to do outreach to branch out all the time, and whenever somebody gets more clout than him, he constantly tries to invade, other people's spaces in order to bitch and complain. So yeah, no, like he tries his best to actually expand his influence. It's always a good time to worry about Hasan, but probably now the more pressing time is just to focus on the Republicans for now, until Hasan makes the headlines again, and then the fucking discourse flares up, and everyone like goes to the fucking shitter. But
It's even
much
worse!
relevance as soon as the Israel
Hassan is super relevant. I do
as soon
believe
as the
that.
war in Israel is gonna stop, like Hassan's gonna.
well, Hasan is like named on national television multiple times.
That's
so
true.
Oh,
much
he's gonna
He's
lose
for that
relevance
now.
after Israel-Palestine?
What?
Yeah, well, he'll be the only one.
He just always talks about IP.
Yeah,
Same
that's
with, like
lame.
Mike from
it's
PA.
become
Boring.
his whole brand.
I
They're
agree.
like
I agree that streamers that overly fixate on IP are gonna struggle after things work out there.
It's also
Yeah.
a
But
pretty
luckily they
safe
never
bet.
will.
After things work out, that's never happening.
That was a joke. Yeah, obviously that's never happening. It's infinite content forever. It's the perfect drama.
Well, I
slot.
mean, especially since my IP content is like 50% of it is fucking history. So how's that going to change things all that much?
yeah, it
That's true.
won't.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the
if
other
it
half is
does
Hasan.
change, you
Pissed.
no, it's not.
I'm
It's
sorry,
shitting
no,
on
fuck. Like,
lefties.
let's say it was. Who gives a fuck, man? God, like, I'm also an entertainer at the end of the day. If this guy
That's
who has
fair
a
enough.
fascinating level of fucking retardation in proportion to popularity about the Israel-Palestine conflict, if he's just learned about the fucking Western Wall like 2 weeks ago or whatever, yeah, that's fucking interesting. I'm gonna talk about it, and it also gives me a good springboard to talk about the conflict in general. Why not? I can do both at once. It's funny and it's informative. Fuck you.
But you don't want to talk about the conflict in general. You just watch slop, and then you watch more slop, and then you move on to other slop.
No, Mina, no. I thought you were pivoting to drama slop. What happened? I thought you were moving to drama. Am I crazy? Did I miss that? Did I get that wrong?
What, me in general?
Is that Dan? Is he colluding with the goat boy? No, I think so. Like, I guess Dan has joined perms, right, into Lonerbox's stream. And what I'm guessing is that Steven's stream right now is too heated up, right? I'm sure it's not good for business for him to be associated with Destiny too much, right? So he's probably keeping his distance away for now. And Lonerbox just doesn't really have like really tough feelings towards him. I know you're joking, okay? But yeah. Kind of insane how obsessed with what people say about him Tectone must be to find your channel. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty sad to see, but, I don't really feel bad for him just because he took his shots at me. And, he's a pretty reprehensible person who spreads evil around, right? But, I mean, otherwise, I would be feeling sympathy for him because being trapped in that mental rut where all you're doing is that you're searching up hate on yourself. It's self-harm. It's a form of self-harm, and I mean this in a very genuine way, right? It is self-harm. Yeah. Especially if it doesn't bring anything to you. Like, you have to ask yourself, like, is this action actually productive, right? Is watching me actually productive? Probably not, okay? I think that Tectone is pretty long gone. If anything, I want to convince people to move away from Tectone or to have more awareness about how evil this person is. But mainly it's just for entertainment, right? Mainly just for entertainment, like everybody else in the space. Yeah.
I do some drama, I do some informative, as often it overlaps.
Fair enough. Okay,
And still research streams.
that's great.
The research
I
you
love
do is
history.
just off stream. You barely.
I
do
did fucking
research on
Qatar
stream.
last week.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
God.
Last week.
I'll spurg
You
out
mean
over
you're
fucking
demanding
connections
more
for an hour and a
research?
half. I don't know, like, I thought you guys wanted someone authentic.
Oh my
I do what's
God,
interesting to me.
please,
Jesus.
Connections literally makes me want to.
Hey, listen, I'm an
Do things
authenticity
that are
guy. Okay?
TOS.
All right, whatever's authentic. Okay, if you're just a little guy who has to do connections, if Dan's just a little guy who has to do Twitch, I get it. Okay, everyone
Listen,
is just
he's
following
just
their,
a nice Arab boy,
personal-
okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a sweet. It's his birthday. Okay, be nice. It's his birthday. Everyone, be nice. Back off.
Is he pushing 60?
No, I think it's good.
Why does Saudi? I mean, I know this is a very stupid question, but then again, I only have a GED, so I'm allowed to ask it. Why is it that Saudi Arabia doesn't just fucking steal Qatar. Just like go in there and pull a Trump and take it.
I
Because the
think
Saudi military
last
can't do
time
anything.
something like that happened.
What's this convo you are watching? What's it about? Yeah, the Orbiters are basically battling Dan on trying to get him to influence politics more. And they're being gay, okay? Lonerbox is stop typing in DG chat, okay? I don't check that fucking chat. Just move to YouTube chat. Well, what is wrong with you?
I think the last time something like that happened,
Will this 10
there was
quid
a
remove smug?
coalition
I would
that
like
I don't
that.
know went and stopped it.
Yeah, Saudi
Interesting.
couldn't even stop the Houthis. How are they going to stop a fully sovereign state?
Good, he should be pushed on this. I don't know. I'll I don't know how much of a fuck Dan gives a fuck about. Gonna be totally honest with you, okay? Just mainly because Dan is I don't want to call him selfish, but I feel like because he was offended by Hasan, rightfully so. Oh, he only makes actions based off of what offends him, right? It seems like he might be driven by spite to some degree. Absolutely. I mean, it's all deserved behavior, 100%. But at the same time, whatever. I'm just saying he doesn't. Why the fuck would he give a fuck about politics when he's a rich person? He's like a rich fucking ex-CEO of an ex-CEO of an ex-CEO, like fucking 10 other companies that he fucking sold off and fucking fired all of his employers or some shit. I don't fucking know, dude. It's just like, dude, I just, whatever, I don't care. I just, basically, like, there's just no reason for, like, fucking Lonerbox's fucking gay-ass orbiters to be pushing down on it. Okay, now you've activated me. See, now you've pissed me off, okay? Alright? Your little, like, weird freak in DG. Exactly, it's fucking crazy. No one calls him out on it. Nah, you know what, Types? I like you, okay? But you know what else is cringe? Dan, okay? So,
In
there you
Qatar,
go.
which also has some Iranian sympathy as well, right?
Also, when she's saying there's the coalition, I believe.
I'm
Sorry.
talking about Desert Storm, yeah.
Yeah. I was just gonna throw. Yeah, I was just wondering. Sorry that I am in fact retarded sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, these Arab militaries are a little bit gupped. They're a bit behind.
Bit scuffed.
There's a fucking US base in Qatar as well. Qatar's an especially privileged position
Yes.
or unique. You'd have to go through
Also,
the
yeah,
Yanks.
Trump wouldn't like that. Okay, they just gave him a nice plane.
Well, maybe never mind. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that's it. I guess also.
I mean, I'm guessing that Dan is just here to hang out.
I'm getting blamed for like everything. I don't want to say blamed, but like whatever's happening on Twitter. It's not like I have made these people post these things or do these things. Like I don't have that ability. I've simply, I'm advocating for my own beliefs. Like you have to remember, like, are you guys everyone in here is like pro-choice, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Vehemently
you have
so.
to sometimes remember to yourself, like, as passionate as you are about some things, which is like the most important thing in the world, right? Is that other people genuinely, completely are pro-life, and they absolutely believe that like there's a genocide going on every day, that abortion is illegal in the United States. Like they believe it like it's a religion taught to them. They believe it like Santa Claus is real type of thing, and it's their right. And that level of passion, I don't think that we get to say that they're wrong. It's a difference of opinion. You can say, oh, my body, my choice, but it's people that have just it can be that important of an issue to them that they go all out on, and you can be like,
This is not a good example, just mainly because anyone who obsesses over abortions as like your single issue voter shit is literally retarded. Okay, anyone who has abortion as their fucking single issue vote is demented. Okay, you're just demented. I mean, I'm glad that you vote, but voting is kind of the bare minimum, right? Yeah, it's just demented. Demented shit. Okay, yeah. But it is what it is. But like the thing is that I get what Dan is saying. Dan is basically saying, okay, you have this one issue that you really give a fuck about, right? And you care about this issue a lot, so you're just gonna focus all of your activism around this one issue. But that doesn't mean that you don't have stances on any other issues. That doesn't mean that you don't have stances on anything else, right? Haha, get it? Anything else?
isn't there more important things? And they can say, fucking no, there isn't. This is the most important issue to me. And this is what I'm going to advocate for. And I think that it's like, for me, what I can have effectiveness on and what I care about and what I have knowledge about, all three of these things have lined up very well with Twitch. And they wouldn't line up with anything else. So if you say, Dan, go advocate for pro-choice, like I would be shit, and I just wouldn't have any effectiveness there. So that's a big part of, I think, why I have to do what I do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that's a really good way to look at it. Like, you're not going to be able to solve everyone's problems at once.
Everybody
like,
has their
people have
roles.
clusters of idiosyncratic beliefs. I get that, but I just don't see anyone on your side doing that when it comes to the right wing. Like, every time I see a liberal like Destiny or whoever from that fucking cluster debating MAGA on anything, I see people in MAGA who are basically saying, "I'm a flat earther that beats my wife," and liberals focus more heavily on the flat earther thing than the wife beating thing, because the flat earth thing is a bigger deviation from reality than the wife beating, right? Like, I feel like it's all about making MAGA look stupid and feel like that they aren't worth considering in the conversation.
I can explain
this.
What?
Actually, you can do that.
So I can explain this very simply. It's team sports. A lot of it. The stuff that all you commentary guys hate so much. It's team sports. It's the same reason why it's based and funny when all of the leftists completely denied that lady who went on the H3 show and was trying to pass a bill about ending child marriage, while everyone was able to call her, saying that she's histrionic and a liar and full of shit. It's team sports. That's it. And the sooner that you accept that reality is team sports and getting things done and getting bills passed is team sports, and your side is based and the other side is wrong, and playing into that and working with the other person when they happen to agree with you,
Money comes first with streamers? Wrong. That social validation comes first.
tribalism, team sports, all of this type of stuff. If you don't accept it, you're just putting yourself at a tremendous back foot advantage that has no advantage whatsoever. You need to use every advantage you have to pass an effective goal. It doesn't mean
What do you mean by accept it? I feel like this.
You have to accept that we're in a two-party system. In that if you want to get eyes on an issue, that sometimes you're going to have to align with people, or at least not say, "Fuck you, you're pro-life. I can't deal with you. I hate you." Or "Fuck you, you're pro on this issue that I don't agree with," because you're not going to have 100% alignment.
I'm not that kind of leftist. I agree with you. Like, I'm aligned with Gavin Newsom. Okay, like I agree with you. I'm happy to align with whoever the fuck is effective.
Let me ask you
at changing MAGA minds.
Oh, is he really?
How much shit do you? And this is a big one. Because and I don't know the answer, and I don't know all of his positions. What do you think you agree with Asmongold on? What do you think you disagree with him on?
I think that Asmongold is a very good representation of this like very, very sad, nihilistic, apathetic man specifically, who has kind of given up, and basically their dream is to be left alone in their goon cave with just enough to survive so that they can play video games, because they no longer have an imagination for a future where they're part of society. And I think that group of people has gotten really, really big, and I think that Asmongold is a very strong representative of that, like, genuine
I agree, but I didn't ask you that, though. I asked you, what do you think
what positions...
What do you think you disagree with him on, and what do you agree with him on?
I think probably I would agree with him on some economic policy. I think he's spoken about... I've seen clips of him talking about some basic, broad economic policies that would actually benefit him and his... Or not him, but, his fan base of, cave gooners. And I would accept that, even if it's probably broadly...
I guess maybe the better question is...
For everyone else.
Let's assume... okay, Tectone has a smaller audience. What's the one thing?
I know nothing about Tectone.
Oh, okay, fine. Then we'll take... Imagine Asmongold with 5,000 viewers. What's the one thing that Asmongold has said or done that he's toxic, and you will never have anything to do with him?
He laughs at deportations. I mean, wait, but doesn't Dan follow, like, Steven? I thought Dan followed Steven on his, like, various escapades and beefs.
What's that thing for the line in the sand?
I'm going to be honest, I don't really have a line. I would work with a Nazi if they were able to genuinely improve things. Like I would work with a Nazi who was able to help, change MAGA minds towards liberalism or towards leftism. Obviously, that's extremely unlikely. So the reason I wouldn't is because that's not going to happen. But I don't have a personal moral line where I would say that's too icky. I'm not going to touch that.
That's like saying you'd work with a Nazi if they weren't a Nazi. If a Nazi is going to be like promoting liberalism, they're not a Nazi. So
that's exactly.
Do you just not know? Do you just not know Asmongold's policies, or like what his bad ones are, or what?
I just said like he's got okay, right, as in like I would not back this policy. Well, then you're just asking me to balance different trolley problem, different policies
So
together.
you're
I'll just give you an answer. Okay, Asmongold has this horrible fucking tendency to take like all of the authoritarian psycho fascist shit that Trump does and just make it into a base and epic. Fuck around, find out. Like him fucking laughing at people getting deported to like random fucking African countries that they've never been to because of their parents' like illegal immigration status or because of like a fuck up on paperwork. That's fucking insane. Him celebrating like Mahmoud Khalil getting his fucking entire life threatened because of what they didn't even charge him with anything. They didn't even know what they were going after. They were just like general terrorists.
Like Dan should never work with him ever then under any circumstances.
Dan can do what he wants. I wouldn't work with someone over that. No.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Okay.
First off,
so
what do you guys mean by working with also?
Well,
right?
That's the thing. It's your question originally. You're the one who.
So I guess I would say like. Lonerbox, like, what are you going to do tomorrow if you wake up and you find that Asmongold has retweeted something of yours? Are you going to delete the tweet?
I don't care about retweets, no.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know.
That's specific to retweets, not about. That's not. So he just doesn't consider that like a worthy affiliation, like an important thing. So like, what?
Yeah,
what if he was? Yeah.
Where does Loner lean on this? I don't fucking know. Loner is just here to vibe. Okay, he's there to zone the fuck out. Like me.
Then I guess it's not fair to say that I'm working with these people because it's not like I'm doing strategy sessions with them or something. It's like, they'll like if I see something that they post that's like, Twitch, for instance, if Tectone posts Hasan is a cancer on Twitch that's protected by the CEO. He's been calling Jews inbred for a year and no one gives a fuck. Something needs to be done. Fire Dan Clancy. I'm retweeting that. I don't care that Tectone said something stupid a week ago or whatever. Like, to me, I'm retweeting that post because I agree with the content on that. I'm not doing a full purity test dossier on the guy before I click the retweet button. That doesn't mean I'm working alongside him. It means that I'm signal boosting.
Bring up Nuxanor. Bring up Nuxanor and how Dan was on the same panel with Nuxanor. I think Dan was also on the same panel as God, fuck. Who was it? Tectone. Yeah, wait, was it? Was he on the same time as that? Fuck me. Hold on.
To be effective, that's fair enough. Yeah, I agree. I don't think your allies should be pure. I don't think purity testing people that.
I don't even know if you can do it anyways.
Like maybe an example is maybe let's say that me and Asmongold both wanted like free healthcare, but I don't think I would go with Asmongold on like a free healthcare campaign trail or like doing.
For sure.
I wouldn't do that. Like even though if we support the same thing, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's like working together that I wouldn't want to do.
Anyway, I've got to run. I just want to say before I run, okay, Dan, I would be happy.
You're like an hour
I would be happy. I know, I'm already late. I'm late for my stream, okay? The Pond Scum podcast, about to go live right now.
Well, I hope what you're about to say is, Dan, I'm pleasantly surprised with how you handle this, and I have a newfound appreciation for what you're doing, and that it's going to reflect positively when I talk about you moving forward.
Hell no.
Absolutely not. What I was going to say was that I would be happy to be your imperfect ally, but unfortunately, I think that you underestimate your ability to have value in other areas than your niche interest and your niche specialization. So I think that if you focus more heavily on other areas, you'd probably be able to be more effective.
Well, why the fuck? Yeah, but again, okay, fuck. Okay, shit, fuck. Sorry. Wait, what do you have to give back to Dan? Like, okay, he's a business owner, right? Think business-minded. It's like a trade, right? It's like a trade. Think of it like a Jewish family meetup, okay? Think of it like a Jewish family reunion. All right? Everyone there needs to have something to give and something to take, okay? I mean, Dan can bring up, I guess. I guess he can bring up, like, oh yeah, Asmongold is a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. Fine, okay? You can do that. But like, why should he? Why should he? I don't know. He's friends with Tectone? No way.
Effective than just trying to get Twitch to change a few TOS things. Worst case scenario, they just move on to a fucking .gg platform or YouTube or Kick or wherever the fuck else would be happy to have them. Best case, maybe they moderate some of their stuff, which just makes them more effective at infiltrating the Democrat Party, which is also not what you want, I would expect. So I just, it doesn't seem like a good use of time compared to the other things you could be doing with your time and your capital and your cultural capital.
Okay.
Dan, after this, you should go into the
Okay.
Pawn Scum stream and grill them on their content management.
Wait,
Please,
but Dan
please go
already-
ahead. All
already
right,
left.
Podscum podcast going live right now. Bye.
Bye bye. You know,
my
Smug. He's got resources. Why don't we? Fuck. Why don't I ever?
Dan
Please.
already posted a comment on like one of the streams, I think, like a couple.
Remember how at the end of the Destiny Tectone convo, Tectone said Dan was a good guy and wanted Destiny to have more streamer fans, such as himself? Streamer fans? Like Tectone is...
Weeks ago.
Have I? Oh,
Yeah, you did.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I
Oh.
think that
Mhm.
I don't know. I think people sometimes want, you know, someone that gets this a lot, and I don't know why, is Erudite. I think like Erudite.
What is this? Oh!
All right. I am glad.
Dude, that's not... Ah. Whatever, man. Okay, Dan's being pissy.
Has like
Tectone
a
was
very
saying
dedicated group of haters. I feel like I said this as a joke. She could shit a golden brick, and people would be like, "It's not even exactly a kilogram. That's like 0.97. Is this bitch even trying?" Like, I feel it's to, you know, that level of hatred, and I have a little bit of that as well. Like, it doesn't matter what you say, what you do. Even if you say the right things, it's like, well, he's lying. He doesn't believe that. He's not why he's actually doing that. So sometimes these conversations can be very pointless to have. I would say, because people come in with preconceived notions of who you are, or you said this in the past, so anything you say that's not that is that, because they want to hold you to some particular viewpoint or boogeyman that they have in their mind of who you are, and then anything that's not.
Like Tectone was saying, Dan said he felt bad that Destiny couldn't have streamer friends, and he shouldn't. Fuck that. And he shouldn't. I mean, the reality is that, like, even Lonerbox was, he perceived, I think he perceived Straight Array to be an IRL friend. Basically someone who, and then, you know, while he was in a relationship with Pixie, Straight Array backstabbed, him, Pixie, right? So he considered that to be a betrayal.
Feeding that narrative is, you know, sweeping, and anything that is a mistake that you accidentally let out or something along those lines that they can twist into that. And I'm not a fan of that type of stuff.
I
mean,
wanted
you're
to
saying
ask
that
you
on my
one-
stream. Like, yeah, we know what that's like.
I wanted to ask you something else, Dan. Also, everyone.
But I think that Dan and Tectone thought that Tectone should be Destiny's new streamer friend. What, dude? I don't even know how much, like, Dan and Tectone even talks to each other.
Two more till the goal. Donate. Give this man money.
Facts.
You have evidence?
Anyway, Okay, Dan, to go back further, a while ago you were
Sorry,
saying
I'm
something
not
about
trying to
Asmongold
put you on
being
the
a
spot on purpose.
political streamer.
I just need
Okay,
more than that.
let's say you have a streamer on Twitch, all right, and they spend all of their time playing like World of Warcraft, okay, and
Wow.
then
Just say
once a
Asmongold.
week
Jesus.
for an hour they settle in and they say, hey guys, it's story time, and tonight we're going to be reading Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. And then they read it and they talk about how based and epic it is.
Oh, okay.
And then like they stop going live. I would imagine, and this person gets like, I don't know, like 100+ K viewers. I would imagine that you would probably have the same smoke for them that you have for Hasan, right? If they didn't get banned for doing that.
Yeah, but the difference is that Dan was personally offended by Hasan, okay? You missed the critical difference here, okay?
Kind of shit, or if they were pushing other kind of Nazi propaganda or other such anti-Semitic shit. Yes.
Yeah, of course, but that doesn't happen on Twitch. The only Nazi propaganda that's allowed is if you have a hammer and sickle poster in your background.
I know, but I think you're missing the point that I'm trying to make is that I don't think it's relevant that Asmongold isn't a quote unquote political streamer if he's still doing.
It's all based on a moment from a Destiny Tectone convo. Something Tectone said. Oh, then why did Tectone say something like that? Like, why was Tectone? I guess why was Tectone spreading the definition of like what their friendship was like? Okay. Haven't been keeping up with the streams and such because lame IRL obligations. How's Destiny been doing lately? Oh, he's doing fine. But I think I don't fucking know. I mean, I assume that he's doing fine, right? With his fucking viewership rising. I mean, I don't have any insight on his mood, obviously, right? Yeah.
Saying insane shit on Twitch, the platform.
I think what this Dan is, I think he said that before as well, is that what he's doing is something that would also affect Asmongold.
Yeah,
and also
that's
affect
true.
all other political creators, because if they actually did enforce the TOS properly, all other creators will also be affected by it, not just Hasan.
Yeah, I understand that, and I think that that's fair and that's good. But like, I'm just saying, like, if your goal is to like get rid of or to like deal with extremism on Twitch, like, I do think that maybe some people are maybe like fair to question, well, why don't you ever talk about Asmongold? And it's always just Hasan as the example. Or is it because that you feel like the political atmosphere on Twitch is set up to protect Hasan? It's a bit weird that it seems to now be protecting Asmongold because he doesn't get banned for any of the crazy shit that he's like, at least not lately. I don't think that he's gotten like his last ban, I'm pretty sure, was his Palestine comments. And I think that was before he surpassed Hasan as like when he was talking about politics.
No, I mean, this is a good, I think this is a good-ish point, right? Like, if you really want to hammer in the point that, like, Asmongold is more harmful than Hasan, so therefore you should focus on Asmongold's, like, presence on Twitch, I think what you should do instead is, focus in on the double standards of Twitch. I think that you should say, oh, it's kind of crazy to me that Twitch allows all of this fucking anti-Semitism, but then at the same time they don't curb other forms of discrimination, right? Sorry, they will curb other forms of discrimination, right? Which, to be fair, which is something that Dan is probably already focusing on. But yeah, Tiny's definitely been tweeting absolute bangers the past few days. Very amusing to check. Yeah, sure.
In terms of numbers,
it's all right.
I think the reason that maybe Asmon doesn't catch a ban is because Twitch can't afford to ban him. People underestimate how impactful he is, especially on YouTube. Like, the YouTube statistics came out, the search statistics, like a few months ago. Asmongold was in the top 10. Like, you have to understand, he's in the top 10. Like, think about every video game you know, they're not in the top 10. Think about every celebrity you know, they're not in the top 10. Asmongold is in the top 10 YouTube searches. Like, that is a level of impactful that's insane. So I think the reasoning that Twitch, may not be taking action against Asmon isn't so much that the staff agrees and loves and wants to support his views, and is more so along the lines of they just literally can't afford to lose him at this point. It would be too much of an optics L for the company to lose that streamer.
Optics L, or you mean a financial L?
Well, I think, to be clear, Twitch makes most of their money not off of the big streamers. It's actually their loss leaders. It's the way that it works. The most money comes in not from these huge streams, but from the small streams where it's like, you're streaming to 30 people. That's the big money, actually, believe it or not.
But Corey, just link me, Jesus.
It's the huge ones are very expensive to do. It's a lot of resources, and it's just different. The big streams are subsidized by the small streams, but that's neither here nor there.
I know he's base GigaChat's Stoic King status. No, he's just retarded, and I wish he showed more emotion, okay?
I mean, optics. I think that the idea of them banning Asmongold would be like what we're seeing right now with Elon Musk and all that stuff. It would be like that times 1,000, no matter what, because of the size of that community and the
yeah, because
level
it would seem like it was one side.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
It's like you're going
Probably
to ban
just moved to
Asmongold
kick,
and you
yeah.
allowed this on his.
Oh, sorry, I meant autistic, okay? Retarded probably not the right word.
On
He's
from
just
this
gonna move to
long,
kick. They're gonna
it
give
would
him like a
be-
huge contract.
yeah,
Um,
probably. But I mean, Kick is like the Wild West. But like,
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
think
that.
that
I don't think that's true. I think Kick is not the Wild West. That would be Rumble. Okay. On
okay,
Kick,
fair. But they're the
on Kick,
Wild
they
West
have-
light.
Kick has rules that if you break, they will ban you. The rules are just less stringent, but they are equally applied, which is at least something to say. Would like to see that applied on the same part to Twitch, but it doesn't. So, yeah, I listen. We'll see what happens, right? Like today and tomorrow, I'm sure there's a lot of strategy meetings happening right now in boardrooms in San Francisco over how to handle this annoying Jew that's kicking up dirt and this, bald retard who's quote tweeting videos or something. But I think it's at a fever pitch, and I'm hoping that
Is that copium?
that something
I
can
can't
happen.
tell.
Not with Hasan, because again, I do believe that if a new executive team was put in place of Twitch, that Hasan would just moderate himself, and it would be moving forward, and that would be fine. And he can do everything he wants to do, and everything would be normal, because I don't think he wants to leave Twitch. He doesn't want to leave behind those subs. He doesn't want to leave behind that audience, that viewership. He doesn't want to leave any of that behind, but he would moderate himself.
Very
He's not going to be
acoustic?
saying that if you have any positive feelings about Israel, you shouldn't be able to walk a dog. That's not going to happen. He's not going to be calling
Oh.
Jews inbred anymore.
One
right?
other thing, sorry, because Teuton the Hasan fan came into my DMs and started screaming at me. I'm slightly exaggerating about how you are lying, Dan, because Hasan did not call all Jews inbred. Instead, he was
Oh.
talking specifically about settlers, and I
Oh, really?
attempted to
It's-
explain.
I'm
yeah,
happy-
Actually,
I'm happy to pull up a clip of two Jewish American students who were at a protest in Berkeley, and he called them inbred, and
Yeah,
they weren't
yeah,
they
I
weren't
know.
Haredi. So that's a little bit of a rough one to do when you call
I
two
also-
American Jews inbred. I don't know how you square that circle. I guess
I
that was
also
just oopsie.
explained to him why a Jewish person like yourself might be more than a little.
Why can't Dan get a better mic? I feel like with all the wealth and resources he has, he could at least afford like a fucking Yeti.
bit bothered by Hasan applying that label to Jews, given the context with which Hasan talks about Israeli Jews in particular, and like the demonization that he subjects them to. But he kind of ignored that.
Teuton is
and-
just
Foodshops, he has a Yeti? Oh, that explains it.
the guy that if you talk to him about something, eventually he'll concede, and then next week he'll come back with the exact same talking points that you have to disseminate. Once again, it's
I'm all-
it's
I'm all-
literally
as I
just a
said, I'm
perpetual
all-
mobility.
I don't need to do it. Like if you disagree with if you say I'm doing something out of context or there's more, that's fine. Hasan's streams are full to watch, and you can go.
He's too old to do audio engineering. Oh, he's like pushing 60.
Go post the full context, but the sad part is a lot of this stuff, it doesn't help. Like when Hasan's making jokes like, oh, I bet this lady that has a Star of David necklace, I bet she's going to ask about Jews. I remember this at the Kamala.
Oof.
What was it?
Yeah,
The
no,
Kamala debate.
exactly.
And then fucking
go
laughing
Discord,
hysterically when she does. Like, you know what it is? That's I don't know what to say. That's nothing more than just like insane shit. Like I can't imagine if like it's like, oh, Abdul's coming up next. I wonder what he's gonna ask about, because that's all he's capable of. It's like incredibly racist. It's incredibly anti-Semitic, and it's just it's a pattern of a tremendous amount of stuff with this. That's why it's been able to document so much of it, and that's why he is the lightning rod for change at Twitch. If he wasn't there, someone else would take the reins. And until they start enforcing the rules, there'll just be more and more Hasans, and it'll keep getting more and more extreme.
I see.
Because guess what? Extremism makes money. There's a reason that Alex Jones is so fucking rich. It's because extremists spend money because it's a cult. Cult leaders make money.
How's Borderlands 4? Is it worth buying? Yeah, listen, it is worth buying if you have enough money for, I guess, a $600 GPU, and possible PSU upgrade, a bunch of headache revolving around my inability to understand chords and plugging in power cords, and having a CPU that can run it, okay? Other than that, you know what? Yeah, it's a pretty fucking awesome game, okay? It is.
Church leaders make money. They have fucking mega yachts and mega churches and all that stuff.
What a
Like
headache.
when you're an extremist, you make money, and the more extreme you are, the more money that you make. So there's this natural push, and nobody is like smacking Hasan on the nose when he goes too far and saying, "No, Hasan, you can't call Jews inbred. You're being."
Who are these people? Stop letting people in! What is wrong with you?
banned for a week. Nobody's doing that. Okay. So, and as a result, he keeps pushing it more and more and more and more.
Hi. Do I need to do introductions or anything?
No.
Foodie, are you aware of the stereotypes of Jews being very thrifty? Don't make fun of Dan's dog shit audio setup. You're microaggressing. Bro, I feel like that's like the stereotype of all fucking ethnicities. No? Excuse me? We have food at home. The food.
Just say what's what.
Oh. Okay, so my initial question is I'm having like a bit of a liberal crisis of faith, or not really a crisis of faith, but I, as a liberal and lifelong liberal, I've always been, on the idea of like political nonviolence. We celebrate MLK and stuff like that, but also as liberals in America, left-wing liberals in general, even the moderate ones, we celebrate, like, for example, John Brown is a very popular figure on the American liberals and left. And like, I've kind of had to like parse myself. Like, my immediate gut reaction of seeing Kurt shot was, this is horrible, this is bad, this isn't what we do. But the next day I was thinking, we celebrate John Brown, and like, he beheaded people who were promoting slavery in Kansas. And he's a political, I think we all agree that he was an agitator a bit. He was trying to ferment a revolution and a slave revolt. So I was like wondering, like, how do we parse this with ourselves and liberal spaces, that we will say that Kirk is bad and everything, like Kirk's assassination was bad. We also agree that Kirk was a terrible, awful person who was promoting a system that would have been terrible and awful, but yet we put, John Brown on a pedestal for beheading a, advocate for slavery and then trying to take over an armory to start a slave revolt. Like,
well, wait, so John Brown, did he like kill people who were not slavers, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the people he killed were not slavers.
Did the people who celebrate him for that?
Some people do, yeah, for sure.
No,
I think
specifically for the civilian killing. Like, really? They're like, we liked it when he went past the slave owners and killed some random cunts.
Well,
not everybody that he fought against was a slave owner either. There were people. Some of them were just advocates.
Yeah, I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get is people celebrate fucking Churchill, but I don't think everyone who celebrates Churchill is like, yeah, the firebombing of Dresden, that was fucking based. Yeah, setting all those people on fire. Yeah, banging. City center, away from the arms factories. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
People don't say that, right? So you can celebrate the person or the like idea, but not the particular actions. I don't know why you would celebrate whereas with Charlie Kirk, it's a specific action. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I think one of the ways I kind of like justify in my brain was that like slavery was like a well-established institution at the time, and what Kirk's advocating, hasn't really come to fruition. Like, what he wanted America to be hasn't really come. So like there is a real threat of like, if these advocators got their way, then there would be this awful, immoral institution that so like that's one of the ways that's squared with it. I think the other way is because we have like hindsight of history and stuff like that. Like we don't know where this is going to end. We don't know what the reaction of this is going to
Hindsight
end. We're
angry?
not going to, you know what I mean? So like the hard part about analyzing current events of history is with history, we have spoiler alerts, you know, from the beginning. And like right now as a trans person, you know, I'm worrying about fucking pogroms and like all these right-wing figures saying like are now like doxing trans people in Utah and claiming that, you know, the trans community had advanced knowledge of Turk's assassination, like crazy shit like that. Sorry, a lot on my chest.
That's okay.
That's completely
Well,
understandable.
And there's also the governor coming out too and basically saying that he confirmed personally that the shooter was a leftist that had a trans girlfriend. Like the same guy that was lauded for being so nonpartisan in his speech of the event has turned around and started doing the things that everybody was praising him for not doing.
And another frustrating thing, like this whole situation is still insane to me. Like imagine if this was any other race or demographic or minority. Like imagine if we had articles in like the 1990s, like Timothy McVeigh had a Muslim roommate that could have been his boyfriend, and we think that he might have caused Timothy McVeigh to bomb Oklahoma City, and like, you know, like this person isn't even a suspect. They've been cooperating since the beginning, but you know, because it might be possibly a trans person that knew the killer. Now we know more about this roommate than we do about the actual killer, and people are making conclusions from that. I think it's just a sign of how bad shit is getting for trans people.
Kind of brain dead. Is she? I mean, you can laugh at her if you want, but like, what part of this is like too brain dead? I guess. So far, like I've been listening the entire time, but I just don't think there's anything here that I necessarily disagree with. Like number one, like if you're transgender in this country, I think that yeah, if you feel some degree of fear, I wouldn't blame you, right? And second of all, people are drawing crazy conclusions off of the transgender boyfriend girlfriend person. Yeah, that sounds like it's happening, right? I just don't really hear any crazy takes that I necessarily disagree with here, but
still really hoping the shooter isn't trans. It seems quite clear.
The shooter is definitely not trans.
They're just arguing over whether the partner is trans, right?
Yeah, it's
a partner who's not even a suspect. Like,
yeah, it's honestly, I don't think even if there wasn't a trans partner or whatever, I think they would still just do the same shit. Like, it's really frustrating. There's like nothing you can do. It's just complete like delusion about like who is really an issue in the society, and that there's just not much you can do about that.
It's
All
taken
you can do is just...
less than fucking like 5 trans shooters in the last like 20 years to produce this reaction.
I feel like trans people should have been hidden and quiet. People tried too much too soon. It helped the crazy fascists so much. Sure, yeah. This is actually the position. It's actually the position of a lot of older transgender people. That like, oh yeah, it's the younger trans people who started pushing things too hard, and they didn't enjoy the invisibility they once enjoyed, right? The invisibility of like people not constantly trying to clock or constantly trying to shine a spotlight on this issue and constantly talking about it. Yeah, I just remember my MAGA landlord just won't stop talking about transgender people, so like, yeah.
To paint, I think it's kind of terrifying though, because like for a long time, like transphobia was like in the U.S. was like a pity thing, you know, like oh these trans people were a victim of left-wing ideology, you know, they will find Jesus and stuff, and now with especially the trans shooter stuff, it's now these trans people are a front for a fifth column seeking to, destroy our, Judeo-Christian values. Like,
All right, I gotta run, but
Oh wait, hold on,
It
Dan,
was
for a
good
second.
talking to you.
Wait, hold on, Dan, just for a quick sec, because the main reason I came in here was to ask you a specific hypothetical
okay.
about the willingness to work with, say, an Asmongold, for example.
Okay.
And I'm going to take your personal identity out of this and insert mine. So that just you get to be black for 5 minutes. Congratulations. But
don't
say
use it.
during the BLM riots, for example, and you had a lot of people running around calling for violence against black men because they're dangerous, 1350 or whatever. And I decided that, Dr. Umar, for example, had a good point, and I was going to try to sweep for him because he agreed with me on this issue. Do you not see the problem there?
Who's Dr. Omar?
Dr. Umar is a crazy dude.
Black radical. He's basically a black Hebrew Israelite. He hates race mixing. He yells at black men for dating anybody that's not black, etc., etc.
Is he a hotep?
Well, I can prove. I think right now there's a good example that I have some. I don't just ally, or it's not even words ally. I don't just retweet anything. I actually sent Lonerbox an example I thought was funny, and I said not retweeting this. And I am selective. I'm not, but I can't purity test. For instance.
Well, you're purity testing a man that immediately after the shooting said it's time for revenge. It's time to make these people pay. Some of them are going to have to pay. They've declared war on us. It's time to declare war on them. Right after.
Who said that?
Asmongold. On his stream, live.
Wait, did he say it? Hold on, he didn't say it on his stream. Didn't he say it in the video?
It's not live. It's he made a gay little video on it. Yeah. Oh, two gay videos. Okay. One of them was promoting doxing. Okay.
Oh, I thought he wasn't live.
Also, can you excuse some level of him being, I don't know, whatever, rightfully or unrightfully or however you want to put it, him being emotional at the moment, saying something stupid, as opposed to it being his 24/7 content. So the example I was going to give, by the way, is Nick.
It is his 24/7 content on YouTube.
Fuentes. All right, someone I am not aligned with, okay, just tweeted Hasan should be banned from Twitch and deported. The fact you can say simp or retard on Twitch and get banned, but you can do this is enough, right? You think I'm retweeting that? No, I'm not.
He said Hasan should get banned from Twitch and deported back to Turkey. Fuck me.
Yeah, right. So not only do I don't agree with that view, but in the same part though, I have my line, but I don't put. So even though Asmongold has said bad things, I've said bad things. Okay, so I don't know if you want to define me off of.
Okay, I don't know why Dan is defending Asmongold so hard. Why the fuck is he defending Asmongold so hard? Is it just defending him because of these like the pushing of these people? Because the thing is that Dan doesn't need to defend Asmongold to defend his position, right? Because he loves Asmongold? What? Where?
Every bad thing I've said, if you do, then it would be fair for someone else to purity test you before you talk to me, right? Because the thing is, I understand the Asmongold stuff is recent, but you can dig through things I've said and be like, holy shit, Dan said this, you have to disavow. You can't work with that guy or find some clip. It doesn't matter, in context, out of context. People are
the dankest dungeon.
A Duck Festney fan 1. Thank you so much for the 1. Give this up. He defended him a month ago on AE. You don't give Asmon enough credit.
Emotional. People say stupid things. People wish they could go back and do different things. But the question is that their defining characteristic? Is that what they do all day, every day? Or is this a fuck up that they made that they wish they could take back? you know, and how important of a view is it for you as well, right? Like, if someone is pro-choice, am I like, I can't
Destiny and Hush are going at each other right now on Twitter. Oh shit.
be
Hold
friends
on.
with this person? They're a fucking baby murderer. That's it. I
In a
can't.
bit, in a
Like,
bit.
you know, it's just like, I'm sorry. The line is there. You want me to be friends with a fucking baby murderer? They think it's fine to murder babies, right? Like, to you, this is like, society has made it like kind of a not big deal, but for a lot of people, it's a big deal. It's a fucking really big deal, right? So when you're like, how can you talk with Asmongold when he said this? Well, how can you talk with Lonerbox when he
Oh my god! Based?
wants babies to die, right? Which is a
I'm
bigger
not
deal.
saying how can you
One
hold on, I'm not
legendary
saying how
coming
can you
up.
talk with him. I'm just saying there's a difference between talking with somebody and kind of whitewashing their views. When you said that Hasan was the largest political streamer and Asmongold was not doing he's not, because Asmongold is bigger and Asmongold is a political streamer at this point. And Asmongold became bigger and became a political streamer because what got him views during the election of Trump was him simping for Trump, was him sweeping for Trump, was him being that political activist that you are pretending that he's not. And that's what I'm saying.
It goes back further than that too. In terms of
all right, you know what? Fine. I'm gonna go this way then. If you want, what's my goal? Because you know the answer to this.
Your goal is to reform Twitch.
Correct. Okay.
Dan is actually a moron. He's the Elon Musk of DGG. No comment.
If let's say hypothetically, and I'm not even saying that I agree with this, but let's say hypothetically, I switch up, and now no more Hasan. I'm all in on Asmon. Do you think that Hasan's clan is going to be supporting me on that battle? Do you think I'm going to be having a lot of retweets and motion and everything else as I do that, as I switch up?
Oh, well, you know what you should do? You should compare the two to one another and say, see?
You know, no. I know you're right. Okay. We'll have our full fight with Dan later. Okay. We got to fight with all the Destiny Orbiters. Okay.
They're both
Hold
bad.
on. No, because you're not being pragmatic. One of these things goes fucking nowhere with no support, and the other one gets in front of Elon Musk retweeting it. It's a no-brainer. Okay. And
Wait, Asmongold has been retweeted by Elon. Don't give me this, bro. Like,
yes, but my
here?
goal, as I've said before, is reform at Twitch. Reform at Twitch moderates all sides, which I think is good in toning down the charged level of where things are at. Because right now, only one side, plus Asmongold, I guess you could say, is allowed to do things, and I think it's bad. So my goal is Twitch. My goal is not 1,000 other things. I can focus on what I'm good at. That's it. Okay. And
I'm just saying, watch your back is all, because as soon as your usefulness is over, they will turn on you.
See, this is where you have me. This is where you have me fucked up. Okay, you think I'm the one getting used?
He's using them. Oh,
you don't think it can go both ways?
Okay, never mind. He's just see. This is the ego. This is the ego that I fucking hate for Dan. Can you please backflip again one day, okay? But like, dude, Dan's ego is just insane. Like, I feel like this is just what makes him so unlikable as a person. He's just such an asshole. Like, Jesus.
How am I?
Yeah, he's a cunt.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I am like, if I stream on my own, I'm lucky if I get like 1,000 viewers. You're saying that I'm being used? What for? What? For my tweets? That there's some.
I truly have grown to like Dan less since he's become obsessed with the Twitch stuff. I seriously loved him when he was just the host of the DGG call-ins and came in to meme during serious arguments. Yeah, sure. But I think that, listen, I think that if I find out any more about Dan's personal political views, I feel like I would dislike Dan even more, because I feel like he would be a little bit more right-leaning. Like, I actually think that maybe Dan is a little bit more right-leaning than what I think he is, from all the things that I kind of know about him, but that's just speculation. Baseless. He truly is not funny. Did you already go over your shout out on Tectone's video today? Yes. Oh. I mean, it's just kind of what I expected from Asmongold's fucking sentient cumsock. So, what else can I do?
How incapable of writing?
Well, I mean, you're a witty cat. You put out some stingers a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do. Yes. Like an attack dog does not necessarily have to be popular to be effective.
Okay.
Look at Bad Empanada. He ain't popular, but he sure as shit is effective.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't even know how effective.
I don't think he has any motion whatsoever at all. But that's just me.
He has motion in our online world. Yeah,
he's also
in Hasan's chat. That's it.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
not even
All
on
right,
that.
you guys. I'm gonna go. Love you guys. Bye bye.
Bye, Mina.
Bye.
Sorry, I do have to go because I have a business cat meeting to do. But that said, I think that there's something to be said for real.
Oh no, guys. Okay, if you work in Redact, quit immediately. Okay. All right. Dan's gonna sell off the company in the next business meeting. Okay. Good luck.
Realizing where you are in the world, realizing what you can and can't do if you show up every day and continue to work, and then focusing on that goal as opposed to burying your head in the sand and saying the most important thing is making sure we don't have a fascist government, and I'm going to do everything on that, knowing that you won't even be a drop in the water. You won't change anything. If you have an impossible goal, you will have an impossible journey to accomplish that goal. I have a possible goal, which has a possible path to possible change. And I'm very clearly being effective with what I'm doing. And now people are criticizing the effectiveness strategy and saying, I don't like that you're so effective by working with this person. I'm sorry.
That's not fair.
Dan, I think that one last thing before you go, I think that you should, if you haven't done it already, because I know that you have that thing, is that website with the chat logs. You should check Asmongold's chat or like his chat log sometime.
Okay, I've thought about my position on this. Okay. I think that it's okay for Dan to focus on how Twitch has become a festering pool for hatred, but at the same time, doesn't Nuxanor stream on Twitch? And not only Nuxanor streams on Twitch, but also Asmongold, right? It's not just Asmongold, right? It's like Asmongold's entire fucking orbit. Except for Tectone, because he's like been banned for a year for dissing Frogan's weight, I guess. But yeah.
Because there's a lot of crazy Nazi shit in there, I guarantee
to be clear,
it.
It's logs.ivr.fi, and it's not my website, okay? It's a public website. I have no idea who fucking runs it. Anyone can go look at it.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the website that the one that has like the specific log for Hasan.
Hatred.tv?
Yeah, that. Yeah. Like if you
I really have to go in a second, but I feel like you missed the entire point of where I said, like, you know, if I switch up what I'm doing.
I'm not asking you to switch up what you're doing. I'm just saying that, like, and I'm not saying you need to call out Asmongold specifically. I'm just saying that, like, broaden the horizons in terms.
The issue is difference in TOS enforcement. Well, sure, but you also have to keep in mind that I don't think that Dan's stated goal is TOS enforcement. I just don't think